Much for inviting me to company Liber. Thank you very much for the operating experience of the professor by introducing me. Today I will guide you a little bit towards our company. We're a Belgium-based company. We operate in several countries, and I will guide you a little bit through our activities. First of all, for the people who don't know actually what does Katoen means, from some countries it's a difficult name to pronounce, and actually it's very easy. The first part of this is the commodity where we started operating in is cotton, so freely translated in Dutch it means Katoen. And Natie means actually the way of working within our company. So we work actually with active shareholders. That means we don't run by private equity, we don't run by banks, but we work with active shareholders who need to earn their money themselves. As you can see on the back, our chairman, Mr. Van Huts, is very keen on collecting art, and that's also why you see a statue that you can also find on the central square in the city of Antwerp. So who are we? A little bit fact and figures. I know we have been listening already almost 1 hour and a half towards a lot of interesting stories. So I won't go rapidly through it. We are still a privately owned company. That means our shareholder is the only owner in the company. He's working together with his wife and 3 sons in the company. Our headquarters are and will stay in Antwerp in Belgium. We have a turnover of about 2.2 billion euros. We work, the last time we counted, we worked roughly with 17,500 people. Just to give you an idea, I started in 1996, and at that time we were working with 300 persons. We were working only in Ghent and Antwerp, and I used to know all of them. But in between times, I don't know them all anymore. Actually, active in 35 countries. How come? Actually, one of our slogans is that we follow our customers. So if we receive a request of one of our customers that say, for example, in the petrochemical area, we have already a factory in Antwerp, but we would like to expand to Brazil, would you like to join? Then we are always open for it. Our main focus is always expanding together with our customer. We are active on about 160 logistical platforms. We have a coverage of 300 silos. So how are we organized? We did a last change in the organizational sheet in 1996, actually, when we decided that we would form business units. So as you can see, Katoen remains the mother holding. What we actually delegate towards different departments is finance, IT, risk management, supply chain services, safety and quality. But then underneath, we have created some divisions, or as we call it internally, business units. I've traveled and I worked in almost all of them. So if any of the audience have questions about one of the other business units, also don't hesitate to contact me, but I will guide you today a little bit through our port operations. So in general, what do? We are a stevedoring company which offers also supporting services. On a yearly basis, we handle about more than 3 million tons of general cargo. As you can see, we run also a container terminal in the South of America, on which we handle a little bit more than 600,000 too. Within our business unit, we are a small business unit in numbers, but big in achievements. We work with 650 people, and we are in certain countries we are active, and I will guide you now through it. First of all, we will start in South of America, where we are active actually in Montevideo. On the Montevideo terminal, which used to be a military port, we have now created one of state-of-the-art terminals, where we operate on about 640 meters of quay length, which we can offer on about 14 meters of depth. We do about 800 containers moves per year. And as you can see, and maybe have heard over the last weeks, we are now expanding there rapidly. We have signed an agreement and we will expand there for about 450 million euros, 450 million euros, where we almost going to double the capacity on quay, the capacity on handling containers, And that terminal is mainly considered as our container terminal. If we move to Europe, where are we active in Europe? As you can see, we are active also in Europe in several countries, and I will guide you through country by country. This picture is a beautiful example of what we call a logistical platform. As you can see up front, we are connected with the water. So there we operate a break bulk terminal with a high input for the moment, which is active, is also the renewable energy. So we are unloading there a lot of windmill equipment that will be transformed and transported and placed in the northern part of France in the Lille area. On the back, you see warehouses. With next to the warehouses, you can see silos. So there we are active with our sister business unit, petrochemicals. That means that there's a factory close by that is producing polyethylene resins or polypropylene resins. We will transport it from the factory towards those silos. We will store it into those silos, and afterwards we will listen to the end customer by unloading those silos, and we can do packaging activities, we can do sieving activities, we can all do sort of activities which make sure that the end customer is receiving the product in the good condition and on time. We load there also those petrochemical products in pallets, on pallets in containers, and then we move it by barges or container vessels. And the last 3 warehouses are actually filled with 2 do-it-yourself customers, which is Leroy Merlin France, and which is another company which I cannot tell you the name because that's confidential. But as you can see, it's a very good example of how we consider the future. So we always want to be connected to the water. We always want to invest in large plots of land where we combine, where we do the cross-pollination in between the different business units. Some details, some numbers. I will not bore you too much with that. If you have further questions about those figures, please feel free to contact me. What we also do is be very active on on-site activities. And as you can see at the back of the picture, you can see a petrochemical factory, which is actually the factory of Dow Chemicals in Terneuzen in the Netherlands, which is one of the largest producers where they have more than 5 polyethylene production lines, which produce over 22 tons per hour of polyethylene, for example. What do we do over there? You see on the one hand side, you see already an active container terminal. But what you cannot see on the right-hand side, it's beneath the dike. And actually there we also store the petrochemical products in silos. We pack them, and then on behalf of Dow, we will transport them by containers. We have actually done a transfer in the month of May. So we will have there a new managing director, my colleague, Mr. Hans During. And our goal is actually there also to double the capacity together with the port authority, which is North Sea Port. Again, some figures, and the goal is there not only to work for Dow and together with Dow, but also expand and listen to the suppliers of Dow, because we also strongly believe that working together with suppliers of your customer is a very healthy situation. So then we move to the base of origin, which is actually Antwerp, Belgium. As you can see, we are also connected with the River Scheldt, which forces also to have locks, unlocks, and also tidal circumstances. We are active on 4 different terminals, and I will guide you through them all. First of all, where I'm actively now is actually our left bank Deepsea terminal. And as you can see, we have there invested, over the last 10 years, we have invested in around 110 hectares of a plot of land. And again, on the cross-pollination in between those different business units, as you can see, we have silos and we have a lot of warehouses. And next to that, we are again connected with the water. Interesting to know, this terminal is mainly based for import of steel. We also do there a lot of renewables like windmills. As you can see, we have them also on our terminal themselves. Together with the sister company, the sister business unit, we also run petrochemicals. Currently, we are operating also one ro-ro line, and we are under the negotiation with other companies that will like to invest together with us to expand also the ro-ro activities. From time to time, we do also specialized breakbulk projects. For example, there's a new petrochemical factory that's going to rebuild around 10 kilometers away from our quay. We offer there also marshalling service. So we rent out a plot of land to contractors who will connect pieces together. And then later on, it will be transported towards the new to build petrochemical factory by barge or by other means of transport. We move to the center of Antwerp, and we have there also on the right bank terminal, we have big activities mainly on the project cargo, where we are connected to the German areas by the rivers that provides us with a lot of generators with other project cargo that are imported and then exported by several shipping lines. So we make the connection with several shipping lines in order to make sure that those goods that are produced in Germany will be arriving on time and at the right place by the correct shipping line. Again, some figures. This is one of the largest, the longest terminals in the port of Antwerp. Again, a deep sea terminal, which has actually around 55,000 square meters of covered warehouses. And as I explained before, it's mainly for export hub for general and project cargo. We also have a possibility to store products as dry bulk in silo, and it is one of the focus business line, as we call it, within our business unit. One of the latest developments that we have started around 10 years ago, if you look on to the left top side of the picture, you can see we have bought there a plot of land of around 300 hectares. That means when everything is completely built with covered warehouses, we talk about a state-of-the-art warehousing with around 1.3 million square meters of warehousing. Heights of the warehouses is depending on the customers and is depending on the legislations, but we can also build highly automated warehouses up to 33 meters of height. For the moment, we operate there mainly for the consumer goods area, where we operate around 33 customers, depending on textiles, on sporting goods. And interesting to know that mainly 80% of those warehouses are covered with solar panels. Yeah. And what do? We offer container solution, barging solutions for our consumer goods customers. If, for example, there is a container vessel that is deciding to land in Rotterdam instead of the port of Antwerp, it's not happening a lot, but it happens. That means that we can offer a service of running 120, 202 coming from Rotterdam to be directly delivered towards that quay area where we unload those containers, and then we handle it towards and we move it towards our consumer goods terminal. Also there we have a fumigation area. Mainly a hot topic in the port of Antwerp is handling the logs. We work together with our dedicated partner over there in order to make sure that when there's a container leaving towards Asia or towards another destination, we make sure that all those containers are fumigated as it should be. Last but not least, what we also are very actively working upon is actually what we call an on-site terminal. So here you can see it's a part of an Ineos factory. It's called Innovin. And what are we doing there? There we are actually handling salt. There are two types of salt that we are handling over there. We put it into slacks. And as of those slacks, what we do, we bring them into silos, which are privately in our company designed by our own project engineering teams. And then it will be transported on an automatic base 24/7 towards the facility of our end customers. Why we have chosen for Liebherr? Of course, it's not easy in the current market to choose a partner on which you can rely, but over the last year, we have really found ourselves really in a good collaboration together with Liebherr. We have chosen for full service contracts. Why did we do that? Because ARS, as already Olaf and also Torfin has already explained, especially if you work with breakbulk, especially if you work with project cargo, you never know when the vessel is going to be there. You're going to have a lot of vessels at the same time. So when the goods are arriving, you need to be ready. You need to be prepared in order to service your customer. And that you can only do by working together with a reliable partner. That's one of the reasons that we chose for Liber to work together with a full service contracts. Every day, in close collaboration with our operations team, the mechanics of Liber are working on the left bank and on the right bank case in order to make sure that all the cranes are 24/7 very well maintained and also ready for service. This means that defects, eventually damages, are detected rapidly and repaired. It can happen. We always know that if you have working equipments, you have mechanical equipments, everything can break. Yeah. Luckily, we don't have that a lot, but if it happens, we first of all try to prevent that by doing those weekly maintenance. And if we have problems, we also offering storage solutions at our garage facilities on our terminals. So we have there a large storage facility for spare parts, and the mechanicals can there also work in safe conditions. There are also meetings organized on a regular basis, and there we have really an extraction of all those maintenance reports which are discussed in order to see, okay, maybe this type of crane, the 600 or the 550, we see a lot of damage in the hydraulical parts. Can we not do something else in order to prevent that we will fall into damage and then we will fall out of order, and that also extends your life cycle? We work all together on the Smart app. It's mainly used between Katoen and Liber Garage department. So there's a very short form of communication instead of mailing, instead of faxing, whatever type of communication. We work really on this close by way of communication. And then last but not least, we also work with the automatic positioning of the cranes towards the vessels to keep traffic on the quay effective, not only effective, but also very productive. That means that a lot of Chinese steel producers who are sending over the goods, they know that they can choose for Katoen terminals. Why? Because if they are running at the Katoen terminals and they work together with those Liber cranes, we work on a high productivity to make sure that the vessels are unloaded as fast as possible under the most safe conditions. So very rapidly, what we do at Katoen. If there are any questions, don't hesitate to contact me through the team of transport events, or you can find me also on LinkedIn. I would like to thank you for your attention, and if there are further questions, please don't hesitate to pull them. Thank you very much.